What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to TravelPawsRV. If you're new here, my name is David, and along with my four-legged fur traveling companions, May and Rupert, we are learning the RV lifestyle one campground at a time. Welcome to the roof of my camper. In today's video, we're going to be doing some maintenance because we are 2 weeks away from heading out on a 6-week trip, and we're starting with the air conditioner. We're going to clean the condenser and the evaporator coils, the filter on the inside, and just make sure everything is in great shape for our 6-week trip. We are also going to check all of the seals on the roof to make sure everything is good there. Going to give her a bath because she is kind of dirty. Organize the front storage bay and sanitize the freshwater system. Be sure to stick around so you know how to get your RV ready for this summer season. First thing I want to do is turn off the AC power to the camper, and then we're going to go disconnect the battery as well. In my garage, I did have a 30 amp RV outlet wired, marked RV. We're going to turn it off. Now we're going to disconnect the battery. Your air conditioner does have a 12 volt power supply, so I'm turning everything off. And I'm going to disconnect the negative cable first. That's always what I was told to do, is disconnect negative first and then your positive. And now we should have no power going to the camper. I have a Furrion air conditioner, so we got to get this top cover off, and it looks like there's 2 screws on this side and that side, one there and one on the other side. See if we can get this cover off now. Let's see, what are we missing? Oh, there's 2 more here in the front. Didn't see those. There's 2 more in the back. Now let's see if we can get this off. There we go. And I'm going to put the screws in here. Now you want to be careful. If it's a windy day, you don't want to do that because the wind's just going to blow it off and then you're going to lose all the screws. But it's not windy here today, so I think we're okay. This guy should be covering the evaporator coil. So this is how this works. Warm air, you can see that's the filter, and where I've closed it off, which now that I see, I can clean this up a little bit more in here. But inside there is the cabin. Cabin air comes up through here, goes through there, gets cool, and then gets blown back down here and into the duct system. This here is a freeze sensor, so we have to make sure that that goes back. That will turn off your air conditioner if the coils here freeze. We got some dirt. Not too bad though for a year of running in Florida. What do you think of my hat? I tell you, this Florida sun is just brutal anymore, and I just can't handle it. Gotta wear the hat when I'm out in the sun. It's brutal already, and it's only May. Luckily though, we're not gonna be here for June and most of July. I went and got my old Black & Decker little vacuum here. I love this thing. There's some leaves down in here. I'm gonna see if I can get those out. Here are the products that we're going to be using to clean out our coils today. This one here is for the condenser, which is this one back here. This is the one that does not go into the camper. And then this one here is for the evaporator. That one up there, which is the one that does go into your camper. The difference between the two is this one has less harsh chemicals, so that way you're not breathing it in when you turn the air conditioner back on. Does come with this little brush here that we can use to kind of wash the coils, if you will, and from I've seen in some other videos, it actually helps straighten out those fins again, so we're going to see if that works. So first thing I'm going to do is run this through here to get any of the loose stuff out before we spray anything. Wow, that actually did a really good job of straightening out the fins again. Now, if your fins are really badly damaged, they do make a tool that you can get to straighten all these guys out. But you want these as straight as possible because you want maximum airflow through there. Okay, now we're gonna shake this guy up, spray it on here. It's gonna foam. You don't rinse it or anything like that. When you turn it back on and the condensate drips off here, it rinses it as well. But I have to admit, this is a year of using the air conditioner and it doesn't look that bad. And when I'm parked here at the dog pound, which is my house, that's what I call my house, the dog pound, I do have the air conditioner running because of the humidity here in Florida. I don't want it to get all moldy and nasty on the inside. So not bad for a year. Here goes. Wow, that was fun. And we're gonna let that sit for a couple minutes. We're gonna go do the front one, and then we're gonna come back and actually run that brush through it again. This one's a little bit nastier, so let's go ahead and see if we can get some of this stuff out of here first. I am going to remove the freeze sensor, make sure that that goes back. Now we're using the one specifically for the evaporator, and we're going to do the same thing. Doesn't foam up nearly as much as the other one did, and it says it has a pleasant lemon scent, and it doesn't lie. It is actually smells quite nice. All right, we're gonna let that sit for a little bit. We're gonna run the brush through again on this one. As you can see, the foam has subsided a little bit, so we're gonna try our little brush on here and see what we get here. And the directions say you can rinse this with like a spray bottle with water. I don't have one, so I'm not gonna touch it. When we get done, I'm gonna turn the air conditioner back on, because as these things condense and water drips from it, it's gonna rinse all of that on there. And it says on there, self-rinsing on condensate producing coils. Let's go see what the front looks like. All right, we're gonna do the same thing here and give them a little scrapey scrape. Since this one was a little bit dirtier, I'm gonna spray it again. This is fun. This is a pretty easy RV maintenance item that you guys can tackle at home. Should be done probably every year, beginning of your camping season, so that way you have a good air conditioner throughout the hot summer months. Let's go for round two. It's definitely lifting the dirt off of here, or whatever that is. Inside here is the air intake. You can actually see all the way out. But this is really dirty, so we're going to take this guy out. In this particular model camper, which is a Grand Design Transcend 261BH, this little guy here is actually the thermostat temperature, so you'll be very careful that you don't break that. But it pops out pretty easy, just like that. Nice and clean. We're going to let these guys dry here in the sun. We're also going to close up some of those holes that I found from when I sealed up the air conditioner. While we have the top off and we can easily get to it, we're going to seal some more of that back up, get the cover back on, and then get the air back on so it can rinse off the coils. The foam's all gone, and actually it looks good. Let's see what the evaporator looks like. That is improvement from when we started this. I need to get some tape and close this up right here. There we go. I put some over here, over in here, sealed this up a little bit more in there. And all this does is just help keep the airflow in the air ducts in the system, and you don't get like an overflow of the hot air coming into the cold air. There's a whole bunch of YouTube videos on how to increase the efficiency of your air conditioner. Let's get the cover back on and then move on to the next project. There we go. Cover's all back on. Filter's all back in. Our thermostat is sticking back through. So let's turn on the air and see if it turns on. Smells lemony fresh. That feels so good. Anyway, on to the next thing. Bath time. This is what I'm using to wash the camper. I use this on my truck and I love it. Full disclosure, I don't know if I'm supposed to be using this on the roof. It has some UV protection and all of that good stuff, so hopefully it'll help keep the plastic from cracking. And I'm just going to use an old mop that I used to use to wash the deck of my boat. So I'm going to use a quarter of a mop that I used to use to wash the deck of my boat. Nothing's ever easy, I tell ya. There we go. Not perfect, but much better than it was. And let's face it, in 2 weeks I'm going to be in the forest of Red Top Mountain State Park in Georgia. So all of this is probably going to be covered in pine needles and sap. Anyway, I got to get down off this roof. I just checked the temperature and it's 100 degrees and I'm starting to get dizzy. Of course, I like to do things the difficult way. I don't have a long brush or a pole to wash the exterior of the camper, so we got to use the ladder. I'm also making sure that I get the seals washed nice and clean, so that way tomorrow we can condition these. And she's done. Not perfect. I really need to clay bar it and then put a ceramic coating on it. And I don't know if you can tell, but it's got these black lines. If you know how to get rid of those, go ahead and put those in a comment below. I would appreciate it. We'll finish checking all of the seals. I didn't see anything when I was washing. Oh, never mind. Look right there. Right there, there's a little separation, so we're gonna have to fix that tomorrow. I've about had as much as I can take for today. There is one more thing we have to get done today, and that is to sanitize the freshwater system, because that needs to sit overnight. Okie dokie. Now we're gonna go ahead and start the freshwater sanitization. What we're gonna do first is we're gonna start filling the freshwater tank with the water and the bleach, and then we have to go and find the bypass for the water heater. I have a 62-gallon freshwater tank. They recommend a quarter of a cup per 15 gallons of fresh water. So I'm just going to use 1 cup. Cool way that we're going to get it into the tank, because I don't have a funnel, is we're going to pour the cup of bleach into the hose and then put the hose into the freshwater fill. And all we're using is just regular bleach, not scented, not that extra thick or anything like that. This is just straight bleach that I got from Walmart. And a clean measuring cup. Got our bleach, got our hose. Now we're gonna pour it in here. Very carefully, we've got to get this into there quickly. Like that. So I'm just gonna let it kind of sit for a second and let it drain some of it in there. You can hear it draining. Okay, I did have to go and get this because this little clamp here will fit. So I didn't spill any of the bleach, so we're still good. Most of it actually, I heard it go into the tank. So now I'm gonna go turn on the water. I thought I saw something under here about the bypass valve, so I'm gonna take these cushions off. It does have the directions, so for winterizing and for bypassing the water heater. We're gonna have to crawl underneath there. All right, down into Rupert's cave. That's where we gotta go. Okay, I'm under here. I can see the water heater behind the little vent. So we gotta turn off this guy. And this guy. So no water goes into the tank, and then we have to turn this on. So now the water will come in, and instead of going in here and then back out, it'll just go that way. Now that we have the water heater bypassed, I have to get out from underneath here. And then we're going to turn on the water pump and open all the lines until we smell bleach. Turn the water pump off, and then we're just going to let it sit overnight and drain it, refill it tomorrow, and rinse it all out until we don't smell bleach anymore. It's pretty easy, but getting back here was not. All right, let's go do that. Fresh tank is full. We got to turn on the water pump. All right, she's pressurized. Now let's turn on stuff. I'm gonna wait until I smell bleach. That was quick. I smell bleach in the cold side. Now let's go to the hot side. And I smell bleach on the hot side. Now to the bathroom. Sink's done. Now the shower. And the shower's done. Now that the freshwater system and the tank has the bleachy water in it, we're gonna leave it sit overnight, about 12 hours. I think I'm going to stop here for the day. It's, of course, I washed the camper, so it looks like it's about to rain any second. So if anybody needs any rain, just invite me to your house and I'll wash your car or my camper or whatever, and guaranteed it'll start raining. So we'll pick this up tomorrow, and I'm gonna go have an adult beverage. So see you guys in the morning. Have a good night. Good morning. The disinfectant bleach water has sat in the tank in the lines all night long, so we need to drain the tank while I go take the dogs for a walk, because it's going to make a huge muddy mess right here. Let me show you. That valve right there is the drain for the freshwater tank. So I'm going to pull it and run real quick because it comes pouring out of here. Ooh, like that. Definitely bleachy. I can smell the bleach. I want to fill in this little crack here in the silicone, and I also found one right there as well. So I've just got some clear silicone that I'm gonna put in there to seal those up. There we go, sealed up. And at the bottom, check your seals, people, check your seals. These things cost way too much money to get water in them. 3/4 of the way there on the freshwater fill, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the water pump and then cold water line first. And we'll do the same thing in the bathroom. Cold, and then the shower, and we're just gonna let that run until I don't smell bleach anymore, and then we'll come back and do the hot side. I'm not smelling any more bleach coming out of the cold, so now we're gonna go to the hot side. Again, into the bathroom, hot on, and hot on in the shower. And there we have it. All of the lines have been flushed out. There is no more bleach smell in any of the lines. Here's what I'm going to be using for the seals. It's a 3-in-1 RV Care Rubber Seal Conditioner. Prevents friction and wear, it's water resistant, prevents cracking and fading, and extends seal life. According to the directions, we're supposed to spray it on there, and then we use a cloth here to wipe off any overspray, and then we let it air dry. I'll get the top when we get up on the roof, but I'm just basically gonna do a quick like that, and then use my rag to wipe any that I got on the sides. And then any of these runs, I'm just gonna kind of dab it there. Back up here on the roof, we're gonna spray this seal all the way on this side. And also this is like a rubber, I think, tape that's covering up these screws on here. But I'm gonna spray it too because I don't want this to degrade either. I went around the whole camper and did all the window frames. These are like a plasticky, and there is like a rubber seal in here. So I put the rubber sealant on that, did all the bay doors, did the entry door. So all the windows all the way around, I did that. I also did the fenders here. Anything that was plastic or rubber, I put the protectant on it, mainly just because the UV, you know, will damage the plastic and the rubber. So hopefully it'll help. You know, these campers are not cheap, so I want to do whatever I can to help protect it for as long as possible. Here's our next project, is this bay. As you can see, this is packed full of stuff. I don't even know what's in there half of the time. Here's the other side. This whole mess was in the bucket that I used to wash this rig yesterday. So I've got some ideas, but first I gotta pull everything out of here, clean it out. I won't bore you with those details of me pulling everything out, but I'll show you what it looks like after I get everything out. That is much better. I forgot how much room there is in here, but this is really large. Love it. I'm repurposing some stuff from my house that I was going to throw away. Hose, my little pressure regulator right there, and also, you haven't seen it yet, but in the next video, it is the last project that we have before hitting the road, but I am doing a DIY 3-stage water filter. So if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button, become a member of the TravelPawsRV pack so that you won't miss out on that video. And I promise that is the last one, and then we are hitting the road. And here we have it. We got all my tools right here in the front. It still looks jam-packed, but everything is actually in a place now instead of just being thrown all around. We have this side. My hitch stuff is easily accessible, and then all of this stuff I use as soon as I get to a campground or when I'm leaving. So I think that's going to do it for today's video. If you haven't done so already, I would invite you to hit that subscribe button and become a member of the Travel Paws RV pack. We would love to have you guys on our adventures. 2 weeks until we go. If you like this video, go ahead and boop that like button. In our next video, we're going to tackle one more project before we hit the road. And that is a DIY 3-stage water filter that I'm putting together for the camper. So if you haven't done so, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And until the next video, safe travels. I'll see you guys next time.